So you're probably getting freaked out with all these word problems, but I'm going to show you how easy they can be in order to help you better your scores for those GED questions. So let's take a look at our equivalencies. So if you haven't saved the equivalencies portion that I set up, make sure you check out that video on the equivalencies so that you know those numbers. So we're going to start by looking at question number 1. It says during a 25% off sale, store clerks find the amount of discounts by multiplying their regular price by 0.25, because it's 25% as a decimal would be 0.25. What is the discount on an item with a regular price of 80? So you can certainly know, 0.25 times 80. I've done some videos on how to do that with multiplying decimals, so check those out. But really the simple thing is 0.25 is the same as 1/4. So if I'm trying to figure out 80 cut into fourths, I would just take 80 and divide that by 4. I could probably do that a lot quicker in my head if I just do it that way. So if I know that equivalency, it makes it much easier. And when I do 80 divided by 4, I get 20. So the answer B would be the choice that I would go with. Next question says, at Linton Products, 3/10 of workers, the company uses a rideshare program. If there's 480 workers, which of the following expressions could be used to find the number of the rideshare program? So the key thing is here, we start off with 480 people because that's what we start with. And there's 3/10. So 3/10 written as a decimal, if I know it right off the top of my head, is 0.3. So that knocks the first two choices out of the running. The next key word is a word of. Of means multiplying. So that means that out of these two options that are left, C would be the only one that works for this question. Moving on to the next one, says Sharon is using a calculator to find out how many hours she spent on a certain job. She divides her display and reads this number here. Assuming her calculations are correct, how many hours did she spend on the job? Okay, so obviously the 4 is going to help us very much because D is not an option because that's 4.6. So we're going to start with that 0.6 repeating. So anytime it's 0.6 repeating, 6 repeating as a decimal, 0.6 repeating as a decimal is 2/3. So if I look at the choices, I see that B would be the answer I would go with, and that would be what my answer would be. Now let's take a look at the next one. So we have a gourmet candy company is charging these prices. How much would a customer pay for 1.5 pounds of peanut brittle? Well, if a full pound is $12, we know it has to be obviously $12 or more. So 6 is going to be out of the running here. Now half of that, which is the half pound, so only half of that pound would be half of 12. 12 halved is going to be 6, so it would add 6 and 12 together, getting me 18, or choice number C. The next question says that a gauge is gauging how much rain has been falling. So we have 1 p.m., the amount of rain on it was 1.125, and then at 3, it was at 1.875. What's the fraction of an inch of rain that fell between 1 and 3? So this one I do have to do a little tiny bit of work on, but I'll just show it to you. So we're starting off with the number that it's ending with versus what it started with. We're going to do a subtraction to find out the difference. So you can see there's our setup. We're just going to go ahead and subtract our decimals, which if you haven't done that, check the videos out in the GED playlist on how to subtract decimals. 5 minus 5 is 0. 7 minus 2 would be 5. 8 minus 1 is 7. Decimals right here, and then 1 minus 1 is 0. So 0.75 is our decimal, and that's the same equivalency as 3/4 of an inch. So when I look at my choices here, I can see that 3/4 of an inch is right here at choice B. Last question, we have a steel rod is 3 meters in length and is cut into 8 equal pieces. What's the length of the meters of each piece? Well, 3 full meters divided into 8 equal pieces would be 3 divided by 8. So 3/8, again, this is one of those equivalencies that was on my little sheet earlier on that I had. So if I know that little equivalency, I would hopefully know that that is 0.375, which is down here at choice C. And if you didn't see that video earlier on, make sure you check out the fraction and decimal equivalencies video. Save it for later. If you want more questions like these, find them on my YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok at U1 Algebra. Those are all going to be located in a GED playlist. Don't forget to let me know what you think. Save this for later, and we'll see you soon.